Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela here. Good to have you here on our Tuesday morning, time for our little video. And today I thought I would go back and do something that I did very long ago, over 3 years ago now. And really it was my very first tutorial that I did on YouTube. So we're having a revamp of that one because I thought it would make a perfect addition, either as something that you send with your journal, put into your journal in a pocket. I did that before many journal projects, or of course just make it as a little standalone as well, or a happy mail. So this is what we're going to do today. As I mentioned, we were going to use a large envelope. It doesn't need to have any windows or anything like that. Go and get a mailer. It's going to work and do the job perfectly. Now this one here measures 9 inches by 6 1/4. That's about 22.7 by 16.2. All right, now this one, and yours doesn't have to be like this. This one does have a flap like this. I'm going to use the flap. But if you don't have it and you've got the one that goes like that, I don't know what it's called really, you can adapt it anyway. Okay, so don't worry about that. Doesn't matter if I'm going to end up sticking these things down, so it's not a problem. Right, so the first thing I want you to do is fold it in half. So that's the first thing. And your envelope can be any size. I'm just giving you the size because I always get the question, what size envelope did I use? So that's the only reason. It's just a guide, but any envelope, and we'll end up folding it in half just like that. Okay, now we're going to do some things with it. I'm using my Book Lovers Bliss journal kit. Any kit will work. This will go into my Book Lovers journal. All right, so I've cut one of the background pages out, and I've inked the edges, and I'm going to stick that on the side like that. So that's the first job. All right, so you can use whatever glue. In my first one I stitched around the edges for it, but I'm not going to stitch this one today. We're going to have some differences, so you can stitch it. I love stitching, but I do appreciate that not everybody has a sewing machine. So I now select what I stitch. But of course it does look lovely with the stitching. I think it does finish it off, and you're welcome to do that, of course. If you are going to stitch it after I've stuck this down, that would be the opportune moment before you stick on the inside bits. All right, so we are going to get this stuck down. First of all, I'm going to start in that top corner there. I have got my glasses on today, so hopefully I'm seeing everything with clarity. Sometimes I don't know if you guys do this, but I've told you before, I have had 2 or 3 pairs of glasses on my head and I'm wondering where my glasses are. Or I start a video and I think, why is it that I can't see that so clearly? All right, so that's what we've got there. I'm just showing you the base bits first before I start decorating. Now, for the inside here, I've got 2 things. I've gone with a sort of chocolatey brown paper. I actually wanted those on the other side, but I'm going to stick these down anyway. So let's do that, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these to stick up at the top here. All right, so that's the front. That's going to go here. My other one, I had flaps at the top. This one I'm putting flaps at the bottom, and that's the only reason why I haven't taken the paper all the way down. I'm conserving the paper. Now you can see I've got a bit of a decorative bit there, and all I've done is I've fussy cut out the little elements from one of the background pages, so these 3. And it's just a case of putting those and arranging them on the top here. So I did one and I thought, let me just show you so you know what I'm doing. So I've taken the little heart shape, which is coffee beans, and that goes there. Then it's this little bit here, little berries. And I'm going to stick that down as well, like that. and then it's just the little rose on the top. So a little bit of the violet sort of just makes it pop, doesn't it? Right, so you want to just get all of this in place. So I'm just thinking how I want this now, slightly lower before I stick that down. All right, they're not going to be next to each other, so there's no worry about they're not exact. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let's stick this down. And again, like I said, if you wanted to stitch, I would stitch that first before you stick the back panels on, but I will not be stitching this, and I mean that. Sometimes I tell you that and then I think, oh yeah, let's do it. Not today. So you're all right. I've got my new die cut machine now, which looks exactly like the one I had before. So I'm good to go, and I managed to cut out some die cuts, so I'm feeling happier, even happier. So that's always good. I do love my die cuts, and the colours look so lovely together. I'll show you in a minute. All right, I hope the weather is good where you are. It is freezing cold here. I mean, I do live in the middle of the UK, and it is bitterly cold. I just looked at the weather report, and it was the coldest spot. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was really cold. It is nippy. But I have got the heating on, so I've just put it on about half an hour ago, which, yeah, I'm not going to be so tight when I'm freezing. Okay, now this background piece, I have cut 2 little pockets here. I'm going to stick this one on here, and this is why I said it doesn't matter what shape your envelope is, because we're going to stick on our pockets just like that. And I'm not doing anything other to these pockets. I'm going to leave them as they are. That's part of the other page I had earlier, and I do love the colors. I love the colors. Right, so we're going to have a little pocket over here. Let's just line that up with that edge, and a little lower. Yeah, there we go. And then this one as well. I hope you're all excited about starting this journal. I am, and I know lots of you have told me you are too, so I am even more excited to hear that. That's great. We're going to lift our spirits with these bright colours. Right, no gloom for us. Okay, so there's that. We're coming along nicely. We've got the front on, we've got that on. I'm going to do the back, and then we are looking good. Now with the back, yeah, we've got to come back and decorate it. With the back, I have taken a piece of paper. This is the length of my page, all right, and I have folded it in half, and I wrote the measurements here. The width of this is the width of the back of my envelope, and that's just short of 4.5 inches, right there or thereabouts. So you want to just do that. And as you can see, it's the width of your envelope bar a little border. All right, so that width, mine is just short of 4.5 inches, and I folded my paper in half. Now there is a bit of a gap there at the top, so that's fine. I have taken a little piece of paper, which I think is in, no, here it is. Let me grab it. I've cut off a little strip of paper here that I'm going to just stick at the top just to make the short fall. This piece is going to be my lining piece, which I'll explain in a minute. So we'll just get this one stuck down. Anybody watching any good shows? Call the Midwife's back for a new season. So I've been thoroughly enjoying that on a Sunday, and I don't know if you guys watch Vera, which is a detective series. I don't know if you get that anywhere other than here, but I do love Vera. I think is it Brenda Blethyn? Is that her name? Well, it's Blethyn. All right, so this is the bit that we're folding in half, and I've drawn 2 lines on there because I'm going to cut out a circle with my die cut machine. You can just take any circle or any shape, and, you know, even if you've got a candle, you can put that on there, draw a circle and cut it out. You know, a craft knife to get you started would work just as well. All right, so what I will do is I'm going to hang on to this piece. It's going to end up going inside here, so we'll see that once we've got the circle cut. So what I did was, let me show you my tag. I've taken one of my mini pages and I've made it slightly narrower like that, because I will end up stitching this as a pocket before I stick it down, so that will happen. This is the top of the pocket, and then what I did was I took my die circle, so I'm going to use this, but this is a Gemini one. I'm not sure if it's still around, the scalloped edges. I wanted to see where I wanted to, which part of the picture I wanted in there, and once I had that there like that, I took my ruler like this, and then I was just lining these up to say, okay, if that's there, that'll give me that section, and that there will give me that section. It was just so that I could align where I wanted to put the circle. All right, so I'm going to now just take my die cut. Now you don't want to go right through both, you only want that on one piece. So effectively I'm making like a CD case, but with my little die cut. All right, I'm going to go cut that out quickly, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay, so I've done that, and you can see I've just inked it. This is about 3 1/4 inches in width, diameter. So you know, use a gauge. You can make it smaller, bigger, whatever suits the envelope you're using. So just bear that in mind. Right, now I'm going to just open that up there, and I've cut out a piece of packaging. So it looked a bit dusty. So I'm going to just stick this on here. I think it was one of my, something I've bought, that I keep all the little cellophane bags. So, you know, I find them really useful for this kind of thing. So I want to just get this stuck down. All right, so we've got that done. So we've got a little window there. And then I'm going to just take this background piece. I want to just make sure that that's going to cover that area. And it is. So let's just draw a little, okay, I've got it there now. So I want to just put some glue on that. It's going to go on to the other side. I did have these ideas of sticking it over the window. Now I thought, oh no, focus. Focus on what you're doing. Right, so now I want to just make sure. There we go. I think that's about right. You don't have to do that, but you know, I just don't like a white background. All right, so I've almost done with this. What I'm going to do ever so quickly, now you can glue this. If you glue this just on that side and that side, leave the top open. Just remember that the glue spreads, and make sure that your tag is narrow enough to still fit in there. I'm going to quickly just stitch those sides, and then we can stick it down. Okay, so you can see I've just stitched around the sides there, and I've inked it up, and I've put the glue on, and I'm about to stick that down on the back of the card or booklet. Little booklet. Yeah, and I like that that looks like it's continuous through the back. Okay, so we've got that down. That's looking great. Loving that. Right, I've got some decorations here I'm going to show you that I'm going to put on. So I've got some die cuts, and you can see how lovely they all look together here. I've already messed up half of them, so they're looking really good. Just put them in the front there. I want to put these two over here like that. So I'm going to stick that one down first and then that one over. So a bit of aqua and a bit of lavender. And then I'm going to stick this over here. And I've got a little book that I fussy cut. These are fussy cuts from the background paper. And I'm going to stick that little book, something like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom, but with different bits. Some of the same color. I'm going to put that down here somewhere. Some of this purpley color. So I wanted it around there a little bit more, and that a little bit more down like that. Yeah. So you see, if you hand cut your circle and you don't go quite right somewhere, it's okay. You can resolve yourself. And then I cut out a little typewriter. I'm going to put the typewriter at the end there, like that. So we sort of decorating in a semicircle. And then I've got a little butterfly which I cut out from these. Okay, so that's what I've done. They're in my add-on kit or ephemera kit, one of the two. And I'm going to put that down over there. So let me do that. I'm going to speed it up and then you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the back of the journal, and we'll put our card in at the end there. Right, so now I want to turn over to the front, and I've got some bits here. Oops. So I've taken the Tim Holtz slotted die, and I'm going to put that over here. And I'm moving it slightly over to that side and a little bit down. Right, so that's about where I want it. Right, and then the first time I used this, I glued between all these bits, and then it didn't work. So I've learned. You only do it on the edges, these three edges. Otherwise, it's pointless. We live and learn, don't we? There we go. So we've got that there. And this is the cardstock from the DCWV Brights pack, and I thought that looked great. All right, so again, I do have a couple of die cuts. Here they are from those colours that I've showed you. I'm going to stick those over there with this over here. So I'm going to do that quickly without boring you. But before that, I'm going to stick on my little sentiment. I'm part of everything I've read, Theodore Roosevelt. How true is that? There is a little bit of, you know, every book in us, isn't there? I do love reading, as most of you have told me you do too, which is so lovely. You know, you can, people say, oh, they go here and they go there, and that's amazing. Not taking that away from you guys, but I've traveled everywhere but in my mind, you know, with reading books. It's just amazing. Right, I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to draw a little line there. I was just gauging where my flowers were going to be before I committed. Let's hope I get the flowers where I wanted them originally. That's the trick, isn't it? Right. So we'll have that there like that, get it straight. All right, and then I'm going to stick these down. So I'll be back with you guys in a moment. All right, so you can see I've just layered those up there. I've stuck on a butterfly. Sorry, my hands are full of glue. We've got our little slot goodie there. I, again, have taken 2 paper flowers, stuck on one of the buttons from the button kit. I love that little leopard looking one. I'm going to just use my Fabri-Tac now just to stick that down there, because I think that's just going to finish it off perfectly. Right, while I'm waiting for the glue to run down, I have got some binding here, which I'm just going to, this is just standard seam binding that you get on a roll. I'm not going to crunch it up, but you can do, you can crunch it up. That is what I'm going to use as a closure here. I'm going to put in some book pages as well, so I'm going to show you how I do that. All right, so let's just get on our little flower. And thank you for all the feedback on that you'd like me to include some of those. So I'm going to try and see if I can do that. Okay, so I don't want it to go over the edge of the book. So that's what we're going to do there. Right, now we've got our little card for the back. So we want to put that in. So that's going to go in there. Oops. So there we go. And now you can see it gives you just the piece that you wanted. So that's perfect. Get a little flower there, so I like that. And then on this side, what I've done here is, this is part of my ephemera kit. Now I have printed these 2 to a page. If you want to know how to do that, I do a video called How to Make the Most of Your Digitals. Alternatively, I will do that for my mini journal, which will be coming probably in a week or so. But these are from the ephemera pack. You can also alter your scale print size of the page to do that. All right, so I've just made smaller versions of that. These are the little books, and I thought I would just add them in here. So I just needed them to be a little bit smaller. So let's just get that into the slot properly. Right, so we've got one there, we've got one there, and then we'll have Pride and Prejudice at the bottom. I need to just make sure I haven't glued anything down that I shouldn't have. All right, so we've got our 3 little books sticking out there. This one can go up a bit, I think. And then on the inside here, I am going to put some ephemera bits in, but what I've done is I've taken tea stained paper. I think I've got lighter and darker, and I think I've even got, that's a bit of parchment, and that's an avocado page. I've stamped using the seedless preserves with a little stamp there. I have effectively taken my page, my A4, and chopped it in half, but you'll need to measure your book page based on your envelope size. So you see it's got a little bit of a border there, so that was just luck. So I've got, how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. Okay, so I've folded them all in half. I've trimmed them so they're all pretty much the same size, and I'm going to stick that in there. You don't have to do this bit, but I'm making little booklets, so I needed to do that. Now I'm not going to get overly precise about this. When it's just a few like this, you want to just line it up, the fold line here. You guys know how to do this, I'm sure, but if you don't, carry on looking. I'm just taking a clip there, so I'm measuring up these. I'm going to do a 5 pamphlet stitch. I prefer the 5 to the 3. I am now going to, got my little foamy bit there, my pokey tool, and I'm just going to hold that like that. I'm gauging the middle, so this is me just eyeballing it, and I'm going straight through, and then you want to have it a little bit away from the top, and then in the middle, a little away from the top, and in the middle. Okay, so there we go. It's not perfect, but it's going to be fine. And then we're just going to sew this in, so through the middle first of all. Take your little clip and grip the tail underneath it. There we go. Give a little pull. This is for all the newbies out there. Through the top. Now don't play up when I'm trying to record and get stuck around all the clips and all. through the top. All right, we're going to come back out there. Oh, that's around that clip. It can come off now. Right, give it a little pull. Miss the hole, one down there. I want to come out at the back there, so through the back. Keep giving it a little pull through there. Now you want to come out in the middle again. Now this string is that side of that string. You hopefully want to come out the other side so we can gauge it once you've got it in. That was just luck. Thank goodness. Right, give that little pull. And there we go. My hand is completely dead on the left here. Right, there we go. And then we can cut that off. All right. Okay, so we've got that all done now. There we go. How easy was that? If you haven't done that before, that's how I do it. Right, we've got our little booklet coming along beautifully there. I think that one's a bit lost there, so I'm just swapping these around. They've got a bit more contrast. I think that's better. Oops. Right, so we've got all of that there, and that's really cute. And then that's the back, and I love that. You've got your little card there. And then I said to you, I've got some bits just to go in the inside here. So I've taken one of the little pockets and I've just folded them, one of those little pockets. I'm going to put that in the front there with this little rose bit. Okay. And then on the back here, I thought I would just go with these two pieces of ephemera. They're in the ephemera kit, and I've just put those two there. And I think that would make a beautiful little gift for somebody. You can add lace or anything else you want to, but I don't think that's too unsightly, so I'm quite happy with that. Now, with this, I'm going to tie it right around. You can make eyelets there if you want. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to tie this around the middle here, I think. Let's give that a go. So that way and that way. And a little bow in the middle. A bit long and uneven, but I'll sort that out. Okay, so that's my little project for today. I'm going to put this into my journal or keep it with my journal. But I do like this. If you put less pages in it, you know, it's going to look gorgeous. Alternatively, you can put the eyelets on the side here if you prefer the bow on the side, so either way works, but I quite like it. I could easily just move that over a little bit. I'll play around with it once I'm off camera. I hope that you've enjoyed that, guys. Go give it a go. These are really lovely to make and have on hand when you want to give somebody a little thank you gift. I think that it's just the perfect size. It doesn't take you very long to make. Great to take just in your purse or handbag with you, especially if you like to journal and you're away. So it's not too cumbersome. So go and give it a go. All right, everyone, have a lovely week again. I hope you're enjoying some better weather. It is cold here. I hope that you're staying warm where you are, or cool if you're hot. We're jealous. I'm looking forward to spring. I'm counting the days. So I'll see you again on Friday with another little project. So stay well, guys. I will be putting in the next day or so some more of the fabric complete Book Lovers Bliss fabric ribbon button bundles again. So look out for that. I'll see you guys all again very soon. Stay well. Bye-bye.